So, of course, in civil engineering world and in the digital twins world, we utilize AI in very diverse areas. We use it for safety. For a long time, we use it for safety. In the last 10 years, actively we use it for safety because as you collect the data, you can predict the accidents. You can just have basically stop the accidents, stop the accidents before they happen. Of course, we use it for quality purposes because one of the things in any process, any construction, if even though you spend enough money and you think about everything, if the quality is not right, you lose a lot of information, a lot of money. So you have to follow up with the NCR's non-conformances, and you have to follow up with visually if you capture anything not per standards, these things has to be corrected before it goes to the client because it creates many different problems. It works with, we utilize it a lot with project management systems because as you collect the data, imagine that you have another technical office person in the background making all these decisions for you. So at all these areas, we have lots of improvements and they are working like a charm. So depending on the maturity of the organization, these things are already utilized in different places. And AI is in the, if from the construction perspective, it is in all areas of construction. It starts with planning and design, and we are going to talk about different generative design options also. And this is another thing that is going to affect us, especially the architectural world a lot. So this is something that I need to mention here quickly. Um, Even in our education and our standard curriculums are designed for good architects and good engineers, but they are not designed for the new upcoming revolution, and which is basically AI. And unfortunately, this already happened in the last 3 years. So we need to have our architects and engineers prepared for this thing with the new tools available. And that's the reason these type of courses are very important. It just opens up your eyes and maybe it moves you in the right direction. So uh, schedule and cost and risk prediction in the beginning, especially if you already finished 10 different projects, you have all this data. AI can understand this data and gives you the roadmap easily. And then, of course, you can have your resource and logistic optimized. Health and safety, as I mentioned, is one of the most important things. With the collected data, with the visual tools that you have, it just creates a system where you can just avoid all kinds of problems. It helps you with the quality problems. And also, when you have BIM, building information modeling, when you have the model during the construction, as you are using drones and as you are using cameras and video cameras and pictures, you can just convert these things into the cloud, basically point clouds, and these point clouds, you can compare them against your model, which basically tells you at any point at which stage you are in the construction. And when you have this thing, and once you have your model with you, and if this model is basically updated through the life cycle of the construction, this as-built model at the end is going to be a great tool for the operations and maintenance. And this basically becomes the foundation of your digital twins. And as you learn from the other courses that you're going through, so once you have the basically as a layer, as a foundation, you have GIS, Geographical Information System, and once you put top of it your BIM, Building Information Modeling, and consider these things as databases, because GIS itself is an information database. BIM, you can just call it basically a visual database. So when you add these things up and you carry over to the facilities, then your digital twin transition is going to be much easier and much more efficient. So, and of course, at this stage, when you have all this information comes in, and imagining that you have already in systems that you have all your documents, contracts, requests for information, submittals throughout the process collected, and utilizing NLP and large language models together. So once you have natural language process understands the data and large language models learns from your data, this also becomes an amazing opportunity for you to utilize. And I want you to also understand Once you have this data, and let's say God prohibits, but at the end of the project, some point you have certain legal issues or arbitration issues, and if AI integrated into these processes from day one, at any time you go into the litigation processes, you have incredible amount of resource because your system already trained with your culture, with your data and all the processes, so that you go to the any type of arbitration or litigation process, you're already ready because you have this amazingly intelligent system, answers all the questions and helps you to tell you, where you are going to win this case. So this is also, and believe me, in many of the cases, these legal issues and arbitration issues are becoming very costly. And so this also helps you to avoid all these issues. Tremendous help. And of course, when we talk about architecture, any design in infrastructure also that includes human has to have architects with them. So architects design these amazing structures, amazing spaces, but with the inclusion of the generative design, this includes so many opportunities for the architects and opens up the doors for the architects for creating spaces for more optimized design, cheaper design, if we say so. Cheaper is not the right word maybe, but it's optimized design. Because architects, they also sit down and create these amazing spaces, works with the mechanical engineers and structural engineers to come up with an optimized structure for heating, cooling, for earthquake and everything else. So AI at that point just gives them an amazing opportunity to create better buildings. So this is just moving very fast. Of course, once you have once you have AI embedded into these systems, machine learning, basically all kinds of data coming in. It just basically with your schedule, it learns from your tasks, how much person hours that you're gonna need, how you're gonna basically optimize your schedule as the information flowing in from your from your site, how you're gonna basically optimize and better control your projects. It provides you incredible amount of help. Of course, this, as I said, turns itself into the robotics section of the process because, as I said, with the development of these extremely powerful chips, these chips basically enables us to create these, computers, small computers that we can integrate into robots. And with that, so you have these robots that can make decisions, even they can learn simple tasks and more advanced tasks, and they can just perform several different duties, which is amazing actually, because this doesn't mean that robots are going to take your job away. Actually, this means that these robots are going to make your jobs better, and it will create more opportunities because these robots are going to be very smart in learning whatever tasks that they are taught to do, and they're going to be delivering the best solutions because with the development of these amazing chips. So which is great. It will save a lot of money during the processes because it will also decrease the accidents because you will not have fatal injuries. It will decrease the cost of non-conformances because they will do the job right. And this will also create opportunities for ordinary workers to work in much more efficiently in different sectors. So it will just basically create different opportunities in different places. And of course, this will require adaptation from different cities and different countries, but it is happening and it's happening very fast. So when we talk about this thing, what is next? What is really coming? Let's talk about this a little bit too. So generative AI, large language models are taking over, and so from design, from the planning, they will have much more detailed assignments, and they will help basically through the processes much more efficiently. I would imagine if once I have the BIM model from the architects, one of the first things what we do is, as the construction managers, take that data and convert this data for schedule, estimating, quantity takeoff, all kinds of different things that I will do in the construction processes. So if I can automate some of these functions through the process, this will be an amazing help, because I will get all my plans in the beginning very fast, very easily. Then I can sit down and focus on the important areas. Am I going to reach the fully autonomous project sites? It will be very difficult, but there's a chance. And this is also very important. For example, if we are going to have a space exploration, let's say we move to Mars. In Mars, it is going to be very difficult for us to move thousands of labors for ordinary work. But if with the autonomous projects, autonomous robots that we have, with a couple of good engineers and architects, we can deliver any kind of structure in Mars or in different places the mankind is going to go. And eventually, of course, right this moment in the world, we have all kinds of different problems we are facing, wars, etc. But eventually, maybe there will be, planetary scale digital twins that works wonderfully with the different perspectives of the process.